What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. Well, Blues, what did you make of that? In my pre-match video yesterday that I did, I asked for a win today. Um, I weren't really bothered about the performance. I wanted to feel a bit of a winning mentality. I think it's important to have a winning mentality, even in this pre-season. Finding a way out to win. Now, listen, I know it's about getting minutes in the legs. I understand about competitiveness. Sometimes players, they back off from 50-50 challenges. They don't want to get injured. Um, but in my honest opinion, I thought that was a woeful performance and a shocking result today. There's When I look at that today and I look at the lineup, it's pretty much what we're used to by Tarkovsky. I know we've brought in Alcaraz, who was there though last season towards the end and helped us um, significantly, linking up with Beto for Beto to get goals. Um, we've signed Barry, but he's still on his jollies, and obviously due to joining up with the team when we go to America next week. Um, there's nothing fresh, there's nothing new. Apart from the young lads who were coming on in like Isaac Heath and Clark. And it's evident that we are desperate to bring in a right sided player, a winger on the right, a number six, possibly a number eight, fullbacks, possibly another striker. Um, I feel the likes of Schmidt um, need to probably go out on loan. So for me, another striker needs to come in there. I think he needs to go and get some possibly lower league experience or go and play just somewhere else where he's going to play potentially week in, week out. Uh, he's third in the pecking order and he needs to go and play for someone where he's going to be first to second in the pecking order, in my opinion, and get game time and see how he does. Um, we need players who are ready now. Um, I thought the way Rovers cut through us at times today was poor. Mm, building from midfield, we obviously evidently missed Tiraburum because I thought he did a really good job against, albeit Accrington Stanley. No disrespect to Accrington Stanley, but I liked Tiraburum. We missed him today. Um, so we need, as Evertonians, we need something fresh to hold on to get excited about. And I was really looking forward to going back to Ewood Park today because I've mentioned it's a club that I worked for 12 years. I left 15 years ago and I took my son today and my wife. You might have seen the short that I've just done. I posted it on my other socials as well on Facebook. Um, security, even. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Look at that. Security even knew that I were there. They had their eyes on me in the Darwin end. There's my lad. There's my wife. um, Head of security there on match day. Mr. Brown, I think there were a bit of a to do going on down here. Some sort of alcohol took onto the terraces. And so they had the camera around that area. And Mr. B said, "Oh, look, Glover's there." So again, the idea of going back to Ewood Park today, um, I enjoyed the idea of it other than the day itself, just because of the lackluster performance. And again, I know it's a preseason friendly and I'm not worrying, I'm not panicking yet, but I did want to get a result today. And we just didn't look like we were going to score. We started building a little bit of momentum in the second half through NJ. You could see it building and it were brewing. I felt like it were coming down that left hand side. And then we took him off. And it just felt like game over from that point. Um, Travers, the keeper, made an outstanding save. Um, just trying to find positives. We do need a new right back. I think we're trying to push Patterson a lot more on. Um, but on 3 or 4 occasions, he had a chance to produce a quality ball in that first half, and it weren't there. Um, I've said I feel that it could work with Dwight McNeil on that right hand side, cutting in on his left peg. Got some assists from there towards the end of last season, and obviously, he's trying to use different tools how we can be effective. And obviously, I get it where a right-sided player cutting on in on that left peg. There's a lot of greats out there who do that, and Everton have one in the past. Andre Kanchelskis. Don't like to mention Mo Salah, but that's what he does. Cuts in on that left peg. So I was thinking it could work. Um, Today he looked tired. They all looked tired. They all looked like they didn't want to be putting in a shift. And I know it's early in this pre-season and I don't want to be coming on here and being negative, but I was just looking forward to the day for myself, for my family, the occasion going back. And it just felt like it gone down like a lead balloon. Um, Appreciate, there was one gent who came to me before the game, came to me, said, fantastic channel. And I really appreciate that. I didn't get your name, and said some lovely words about my son because I put a video of him singing on the channel. So I really appreciate that. That was good. Seen some friends today. I've had some pictures took with him and stuff. Um, so that is it. That's how I'm feeling. I don't like coming on here and being negative, especially in pre-season. I just feel like we need to see bodies coming in now. Um, I think we need to feel a bit uplifted with some signings because it just seems a little bit stagnant and stale. Um, at least 4 to 6 in the door, and I know it's going to be difficult, but from here, let's try and get a few before we go to America. If we get them part way through, we're over in America, get them over for one of the games. I think we play 3 games, don't we, while we're over there? We need to get busy. And I'm sure that the club is, David Moyes is. Um, I did expect there were going to be a little bit more activity than there already has been. I know 3 have come through the door, but one of them's a reserve keeper that we've seen today. Alcaraz was already there, and Barry, again, I've said that he's still on his holidays and we're not going to see him until we're in America. Obviously, that is the last pre-season I'll be going to until the Roma game. Um, Pretty much for a lot of us, unless we're flying out to the States. So, Blues, let me know your thoughts. Am I being too negative? Although I'm trying not to be. I always try to find positives. Um, I did that in the Accrington Stanley game. I said Isaac Heath, Clark, Harrison Armstrong. I saw them as positives. I saw that they could potentially be around the squad, and I hope they are. Especially Harrison Armstrong. I think Isaac Heath even just showed little glimpses today, trying to do stuff. Um, it just didn't happen. I saw Jimmy Gardner very deep today, trying to get on the ball, but there was no invention. There was nothing. There was nothing getting created. Um, could we have had a penalty? Alcaraz, maybe. But it's margins. We we're clutching at straws of trying to grab a goal. And that was the same against Stanley when we got the penalty. Beto hit top bins. Um, there's a lot needs to happen from here today up until that first game of the season, going into the Hill Dickinson Stadium and playing Leeds United on Monday Night Football, the first game of the season. Um, we need to bolster that squad. And, it almost, at this point where I am now, you almost wish that we had just a few more legs in there, even though we're in a pre-season. I don't like, Decore did me head in, but he came up with big goals and, you know, could we have done with him for one more season? Um, and I'm only thinking that way now because of the inactivity. I want to see a lot from this time frame, from now again up until first game of the season when that window closes. Um, I liked Kyle Walker-Peters. I wanted him in because he can play right and left back, and I think he's a good player. I really do. But he's gone to West Ham. We've seen us linked with a lot of players, and yeah, Blues. I'm going to leave it there. We move on. We dust ourselves off. It's been a poor day. Um, I wanted it to be better, but we made the most of it. Um, it is what it is. Up the toffees, and I will see you. Blues, if you've not subscribed already, please feel free to do so. Click that bell to turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.